Hi everyone, I'm Niharika this side and I'm founder of Born Kids. Born Kids is India's largest and fastest growing kidswear brand, and we work primarily to build upon a stage of all licensed merchandise. I started this company in 2012, build it grounds up, and today we have more than 100 employees. And recently we got acquired by Mensa Brands. I think since morning we are all discussing that retail has changed and it's changing right in front of our eyes. There's no denying that. I think that has been said amongst all the panelists that retail is changing. And the reasons I think it is like that is primarily due to digital adaptation by masses and also globalization, which has become so easy. In this kind of environment, the consumer expectations are changing, and they're very hard to meet from a brand's point of view, and we need to constantly adapt to newer technologies, build greater experiences, build much more relevant and personalized products, which is very hard to do, and every brand has to push the status quo. However, I feel that one thing which makes it a little more easier is one gender which understands the consumer pulse very, very well, which is the women. But if you look at the data, I think it's astonishing that the number of women who make it to the boardroom are so less. However, I think we are the only gender who understand the consumer pulse, who understand how to build great experiences very naturally. So this is the whole agenda today, is how we can help women thrive in retail environments. And it's my privilege to share this with, I think, women who are building brands from gaps. I think my brand is an example. I saw a gap. I have 2 kids, and I filled it, and it became, we got acquired at a valuation of 100 crores. And I think we have similar experiences here with other founders. So if we can have a quick round of introductions.
Hi, everybody. This is Shalu. I am founder and CEO of Club Teens. Club Teens is primarily a brand which is for teenagers. We are a brand which create products, which make products for health, wellness, and skin and hair care for teenagers. So being a mother, being a woman, I always felt as, my son turned around 10 years old, I started looking for products for him, So there were no products. So the first thing what you do when you're looking for a product nowadays, you just go to Amazon and Flipkart and walls of Amazon, and you try to find out something. And what I realized was that there were a lot of products which were available for infants, toddlers. And of course, the market is anyways too overcrowded when it comes to adults. So, lots and lots of products for all the ages. Only teenagers is a category where you do not really find any product which actually suit the requirement of teenagers. So this is the time when actually the transformation of skin happens. We all have gone through the teenage years. We understand those acne breakouts, those rough patches on skin, and the child becomes underconfident if in case the skin is not in a good shape. Already the stress is so much on children nowadays, and this becomes one of the bigger reason why, they become underconfident also at times. So I realized that, since my child is going through this problem, I'm sure there are a lot of other children also there in the same boat. So I realized that we really need products which are sustainable, which are clean products, and which are dedicated to the wellness and skincare of teenage children. And that is how Club Teens came into play. So we are relatively a new brand. However, we are looking at this space because it's a total virgin space right now. So if you just go to the net and try to find out products for teenagers, I'm sure you will also not find any just the way I did not.
So I think, yeah, that's an interesting thing. So being a woman, you're either the user of most of the products, or you're raising someone who is the user, and I think your brand is a classic example of how you just saw that gap within your own home and built such a beautiful business out of it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Preeti. I head business development for a brand called Raymond, which I'm sure you all are aware of. This brand holds a 97 years old legacy, and a complete man is the tagline. However, I've been lucky to be associated at a top level and trying to increase the retail footprint of a brand which says complete man. So I have been into this industry from almost 20 years, worked with footwear and then apparel, and now a multi-brand apparel brand like Raymond. Lucky enough to be opening about 650 odd stores in my career of 7 years with Raymond. Launching brands from a conceptualization stage like Raymond Ready to Wear and Ethnics, which is our latest baby. And we started this brand almost like a year back with a zero footprint, and we'll be exiting this financial year with about 80 odd such stores. And I think we're just counting in coming year, probably the count is to go to about 250. A very, very different field for a women. Real estate, which we really call it. We see a lot of women towards the mall side. But on the brand side, well, I'm fortunate that I've made some mark in the retail industry, particularly with regards to this profile. Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Bhavini here. I'm the founder of Banco Junko. So I'm in the fashion industry for more than 34 years. Started with the surface ornamentation work, then white labeling, and then starting my own brand in 2019. And Banco Junko is about textile upcyclings. So what we do, we convert the pre-consumer textile, roll out, scraps, whatever you say, into the beautiful products, garment, home furnishing, accessories, and many more. And that is also by empowering women in the channel. We train the women in making the scrap from the fabric from the scraps and then converting. So it is an eco-friendly initiative by upcycling pre-consumer textile and convert it into the beautiful product. Banco, how the name derives, everyone is asking about this, how the name derived, So Banco is the art decoration creation and Junko is from the junk. And one day me and my daughter has supported me a lot to start at this age a brand. So we were brainstorming. I said, I want some unique name for these things. And she told me, okay, my name is Jill, so I want it from the J. And you are making from the junk, so Junko. I said, no, I want it from the B. And like that, it is just came up Banco and Junko. And then we searched what is the meaning of the Banco. Junko, so we know it is from the junk. And we come across that Banco is the art decoration creation in Japanese. And then we said, done. It is a very funky name. It attracts the young generations. And in this, we converted this by shorting out segregations and so many process. In this, we also help the women to generate the livelihood. We work in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, and many more places with more than 1,000 women. But yeah, in my life, this journey, I've trained more than 10,000 women. Today, their children are CA engineers and all of them, So my passion, everything is for this, empowering the woman and supporting them. And Banco Junko is also the part of that things. Thank you.
Lovely. I mean, that's really incredible what you're doing. And I think the products that you are wearing are also from your own brand. They look lovely. And the impact, obviously, which they are creating for the women and for environment in general. Preeti, coming to you. What are the key areas that you feel in the retail industry from all your past experiences and the current experience where women representation is completely missed? And how do you think we can improve this?
Well, I will not shy to say, to start with probably the profile I am myself in, which is business development. So honestly, even in my organization, like I had a team of about 10 boys, and I've appointed like another 4 boys in last 1 year. And whenever I tell them that, why don't you interview this girl, why don't you interview that girl, they're like, ma'am, travel nahi hoga, or travel times, etc. And then I kind of give them very judging looks, like, look, you're talking to me, and you all are reporting to me. So I feel that, it's more in the head, than in practical way. I think we should actually look at women with a little different skill sets. While I'm saying different skill sets, I don't mean with gender favors. Probably not with the preconceived, kind of a notion or a preconceived lens, like whether she will be able to do it. Well, I'll give you an example. Like in my beginning career years of business development, I was interviewed with a very, very known name into food industry. I would not like to take a name. And I was interviewed by a gentleman, and he asked me, will you be able to travel? Well, I got through that position, but I decided not to join. It was my personal choice because I thought like he's already prejudging me that whether I'll be able to do it. So I think I took the challenge as a passion. This was almost like 15 years before, and I think it's been now 20 years that I've been doing this. So And also, while we create, we talk a lot about, women empowerment and, all we should do for the women in the industry. However, we feel that women still do not have that proportionate level of opportunity. So we only talk about it, but practically we see it's not really, there. So I think we all, and also another thing what I feel as a women, I don't shy saying that we kind of protect ourselves by, probably being into our kind of environment, like, women empowerment groups, women support groups, etc., etc. And I think we kind of narrow down our own visibilities. To all the women around, I think you should just go all out, meet influencing men around, and I think that's where I think the horizon will definitely increase and we'll get better platforms.
So you mean don't judge, don't have any preconceived notions, give women a chance, and then lead to your conclusion. I think that's a wonderful suggestion. Shalu, speaking to you, you have built a brand for teens. The numbers which I'm talking about are equally low in the investor community as well, where women-led startups are very often, they find it very tough to get themselves funded. What is your take on that, and how do you think that can be improvised?
See, Niharika, I have a very different viewpoint on this, on this whole thing. So what I believe is that we women sitting here right now, we are the face of modern Indian women. We are the first generation who has actually moved out of our houses and made working in corporates a normal culture. So, if we talk about our mothers, everybody sitting here would be able to relate to it, that most of them were homemakers or maximum teachers or bankers. So growing up, we have not seen many women like us running the companies. So, so this is a cultural shift. It's an organic growth, which we women are getting, right now. So from a homemaker to somebody who has made working in corporates shoulder to men, with men, and maybe, becoming their bosses, like, what Preeti just said, that, she has a huge team of men working with her. So, it's an organic process. It's a growth from a homemaker to somebody who's working shoulder to shoulder in corporates. And now the generation which is coming, the girls, the women who are in their early 30s or, late 20s. So these are the one who will be actually changing the whole trajectory going ahead. We are going to see a lot of change in coming 5 to 10 years where the women coming after us, they are going to create big companies, So we have already started seeing the growth. The culture has already is already setting in. So, we have big names like Mamaat, Nykaa, Sugar, where these are all women-led organizations doing so well for themselves. And so in maybe coming 10 years, we will see that we will have a beautiful scenario where there'll be a lot of women who will be in the boardrooms. There'll be a lot of women who will be making bigger organizations. We will be ruling the world. So, it's just about time. So the ground setting is already done. So we women today, we are setting up the ground for the younger generation to come and just conquer the world. So yeah, we are right there.
That's so wonderful to hear, and I think, a couple of more success stories, and everyone in the investor community will also start looking only women-led businesses very seriously, and I'm hoping that day comes soon.
Yeah, so right, sorry, just to add to it, so the bias is real, so if we, today, if I say that no, men and women are treated equally, it is not the fact. So the biases which we are talking about are real. So investors, they are putting in money, so of course they have a lot of questions in their mind, because marriages are real, taking care of children is real, taking care of, your in-laws, your parents is real. These are all real things which are happening. So investors, of course, they have their biases. However, with, yes, the bigger names coming up, and of course, we all know data backs it that women makes better revenues in any businesses which they are doing. So yes, the scenario is going to change very soon.
Wonderful. Coming to you, Bhavini, I mean, you're doing something that's so close to my heart as well, which is so sustainable, so impactful, and you're doing this in fashion. How do you think we can give more opportunities to women who are not probably in the leadership position, but at the factories, how do you think we can treat them equally? And what are the biases that you have seen while you work with these women?
So, here I would like to share my own experience in around about 2000. I want to start the manufacturing unit. And the people whom I'm doing the job working for them, they told me, नहीं नहीं ये आपका काम का नहीं है, you will not be able to deal with the karigars, So at that time, I don't have that much confidence and I was not be able to. But once I got the confidence and I've started my own manufacturing and today I have my own brand. So, and of course, no age or I believe age or sex and everything is the bias is just the we think about it, right? So it doesn't matter. And secondly, like this, as I am working with so many women, I believe give them the opportunity. They can do it. I will share the one example. We are training the women in the rescue home, shelter home, juvenile center, everywhere. When we ask them, do you have the vision? कि मतलब आपने कुछ सोचा है, आपको कुछ क्या करना है? They said, no ma'am, we cannot think. मतलब why? Because they have never got the chance कि क्या कर सकते हैं उनकी लाइफ में. हमने खाली उनको इतना बताते हैं कि ये करना है and now they are at another level. They are doing so wonderful work कि we can't believe that. And this is the way, so what the woman needs, they need the support, they need the push-up, they need the hand-holding, and they can do the wonder. So if in your, I'm just describing you about this grassroots level women, yeah, but in your factories or everyone, give them the facilities, give them the rights, and give them the opportunity to express them. Women are the creative. So they can give you some ideas and anything. So please give them the chance. They can prove themselves. Yes.
Wonderful. I think lastly, I would ask all of you, just give one tip which can help women thrive in the retail industry. Starting from you, Shalu. It has to be one tip which everyone can take away to their organizations and implement it.
See, I believe that women has very high level of accountability when it comes to, doing a job. The credibility is much higher when it comes to women. The multitasking, the way women can do, I think it is not easy for many people, many men to do that. So I think with all these three things together, we can thrive in any kind of environment. So if we just keep on doing our hard work, if we keep our accountability, credibility in place, I guess yes, we can do very well here.
Yeah. So I have always believed. I think I've been a very firm believer into competency. While we always talk about women in the boardroom and at the top leadership, I feel anybody who's competent should get a job. So whether it's a man or a woman, I really don't, factor there. And like, she said that I think women getting into boardrooms is a fear in the mind. It's the way human mind is conditioned, unfortunately, that whether I'll be able to do it. That's one thing that, we all should leave it behind. And, I myself sit in a boardroom of like 10 men and probably me alone sometimes in a meeting. But I've never felt like that, probably because I've been lucky enough to be working in the organization, which is very gender agnostic. The silver lining is that I've been always working around people who've been very supportive, be it professional or personal life, and I've been able to thrive where I've been able to achieve here. So I think it's more in the mind, than anywhere else. So I think we should all wash that out and go all around. And like she said, there'll not be leaders in suits, there'll be only leaders in future. That's what I want to say.
So here I would like to share my own experience. So we got the grant from the Visa credit card company and they asked me, as a woman, do you think what the challenges or the bias you are facing? I said, the gender bias is in our mind. We will not, especially for me, I said, I don't believe man or a woman. Whatever the challenges, everyone is facing it. But why we are saying that we are the woman, so we are facing the challenge more than the other. So I believe it is not like that. And I would like to send the message to women, if you want to do something in your life, You dream it, but you try to follow that dreams and work hard to reach to your destinations. So that is necessary, nothing else. So forget about any bias or anything, and just work hard. You can reach to your destination. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think you've all given good tips to a lot of young women whom I can see like they're in colleges, and I think they'll really benefit when they'll start something. I'll see if someone have a question in the audience to ask to any one of us. Well, if not, I have a question to ask to you guys. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Like, how many of you have a LinkedIn account? Oh, very wonderful. I think all of you. So I have a request. If all of you could hashtag women in retail rule and put this picture across, I think we will put across this message. Can we do that right now? Just open up your LinkedIns and put this picture of these wonderful ladies and put women in retail rule. And I think that will give across the message that it's about time that we're given equal opportunity. It's about time that we leave all the biases. It's about time that we forget everything and just see everything based on the competency and not whether it's a woman or a man doing it. Thank you so much.
So, since we are all women panel, and there are a lot of women I can see here in the audience as well, so I just want to say 2 lines for everybody sitting here, from a woman to a woman. So, it goes like, बिन गौरी की मूरत के अधूरा हर शिवाला है, बिन गौरी की मूरत के अधूरा हर शिवाला है, बन के यशोदा नारी ने स्वयं ईश्वर को पाला है, कोमल मन वाली है वो पर ताकत अपरंपार है, कोमल मन वाली है वो पर ताकत अपरंपार है, जिन आँखों में ममता है उसी आँखों में ज्वाला है. Thank you.